What is going on, everybody? Are we on?
No.
It's acting like we're not. Yeah,
It
no.
says live, right?
Yeah, we're good. All right, what is going on, everybody? We are back for another Q&A video, and this time we have a lot of questions to read through. So I'm gonna give just a few more seconds here
Say we should.
for some people to come in. Okay. You want to go on and read the first question, or have it pulled up? Okay. Like I said, we got a bunch of questions for this Q&A, so thank you guys so much for sending these in. Okay. That was not a question.
Just send me statements. Statements.
Yeah, we're also going to do some statements and just other interesting comments once we get through the questions. But first things first, okay. So our first question is actually like 5 questions in one. And the first question is, do you plan on doing other series like this? So other series after the Armored Guardians? No. No, if you guys knew like how much like work this stupid stuff is, it's really not something you can just do casually, you know? So it would be a really big deal to even just try and do one more series in addition to this, because it's a lot. I'm
Okay.
sure you could probably agree.
I mean, it kind of just depends on the time and if we're really motivated for it.
Motivation is a big factor, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. 100%.
Did you guys make your own costumes? Yes, I made every single prop you will see in the Armored Guardians. Originally, I was going to go to another costume maker who does really expensive, really high quality work, but that would have costed like probably over 10 grand for them to make all the suits for us, so there was no feasible way that was ever going to happen. So yes, I make them all myself out of mainly EVA foam, and there are some 3D printed parts, and there's just a lot of cardboard. So like it's really just like trying to get good with a few really cheap options and then just trying to make it look as convincing as possible. What do you think about others making characters as you did? I feel like Armored Guardians and Kamen Riders exist together in the same universe, just not in the same place. No, I hate to just shut down a question like so quickly, but this is like a completely separate universe from Gaim or any other Rider series. Like, I don't plan on doing any sort of crossovers with like other small channels or other creators or anything like that, because it's just, we're trying to tell a really tight story here, and there just isn't really like time or room for other like collaborations. Maybe once we're done with like our main story and you know we have like some collaboration we could do. It'd have to be really small though and really short. Like we couldn't film like a whole another 30-minute episode just to do a crossover with somebody. I know that sounds kind of mean on my part, like, guys, get out of my sandbox, like these are not your toys. But it's really just like, that's not exactly what we're aiming to do, is collaboration, you know what I mean? Like, we're not really looking for like crossover stories right now.
Like, yeah, I mean, like, our story is very... it's like the beginning of it right now. So, like, I feel like if we get more used to it, then we might get more collabs later on. But that's just, again, if we're just more motivated.
Yeah, we're still finding our footing, really,
True,
in this,
yeah.
because, you know, Excerpt of Talon, which we start filming this week, is really our second episode, and it's not even really an episode. It's really just, like, not really a short film, but, like, a small special kind of deal. So, it is, like, important stuff related to the story, though. It's not, like, filler or anything like that. We don't have the time or budget for filler episodes.
No, we don't.
So would you be open to seeing other characters that other people have made? Like fan-made, like Armored Guardians and stuff? I mean, really, like, that's what the watermelon one is that we just did. Like, so, you know, like, as cool, like, as nice as it would be to have other people, you know, like, send in designs, like, I don't have the time and money to, like, be making a bunch of suits because really it's hard enough to keep the ones that we have in good condition. Like, we've only filmed one episode, and like it tore up like half our props. Like, it was crazy, and most of them didn't even go through that much. Okay, next question. Might sound ridiculous and dangerous since I know most scenes are in grass, but sooner will there be spark effects like on most tokusatsu, practical or edited on?
Mate, I wish.
Yeah, see, the thing about special effects is, like, it's not something I have any interest in learning. I'm going to be completely honest with you, because I already do so much for this production, and I'm not trying to make it sound like I'm, like the, like, hot stuff. But, like, I'm already writing the whole thing, directing, acting, making all the props, and thank you, and, like, figuring out all the marketing and scheduling and things like that. So, like,
I might do it.
I really don't want to learn VFX, because I'm honestly just not very interested in it. I really want my cinematography to get better. I really want my audio, in particular, to get better, because Chapter 1 has a lot of rough audio that I really think kind of hurts it, and I really don't want that to keep happening. So,
there was someone that commented that would suggest fixing our audio, and
Mhm.
it wasn't a bad comment. It probably would help. I just didn't know what they meant by it, but I don't do audio, so.
Yeah, like, I've worked with video and stuff a lot, and, like, it's... Hold on. Yeah, I've worked with video and stuff a lot, and audio is still not something that I have a lot of experience with, like, in general. Sorry, for some reason the comments just now started coming up. Yeah, the audio is the only issue I had with Chapter 1, but it wasn't too bad. Okay, thank you. I really appreciate that. I have a lot to learn as far as audio goes in particular, and sound mixing, so that's the part I'm going to focus on improving the most. Like, I want my cinematography and acting to get better, but I totally realize that the audio is what's holding it back the most technically. And this small project, Excerpt of Talon, is going to be a really good opportunity, because it's not going to be very long. I'm guesstimating probably like 10 to 15 minutes, like 15 at the very, very most. So it'll be a lot easier to kind of go in and, like, patch up, like, look at specific audio instances that might not sound the best, and make sure that's all tidied up a bit more. Okay, how long does it take to make a suit? I have to admit they are a good recreation, even if they are made of cardboard. It depends on the suit. It depends on how motivated I am and how much sleep I can get. Because, okay, so material is also the main factor. So, like I said earlier, a lot of the suits have parts that are made of EVA foam and are 3D printed and are made of cardboard. So, like, the Sentinel suit in particular uses all three, and the Sentinel suit took me about 9 months to finish, probably, and then, like, the Talon suit took me maybe like 3 weeks, and I didn't sleep through most of that. So, like, that's one when I can't sleep, I work. It's not healthy, but that's what I do. But thank you for the compliment. I've actually gotten a lot of compliments on the suits, which makes me feel really good, because I've only been making cosplay suits for like maybe 2 years, and the Gaim suits are pretty, they're not very simple suits, so I kind of jumped relatively straight to the deep end with those, so I'm happy they look as decent as they do.
Sentinel's the best, probably the best suit.
Yeah, that makes sense, because it has a 3D printed helmet and a 3D printed
Yeah.
chest piece. And then the base of the torso is made of EVA foam, and then the shoulders are cardboard, and the hammer is cardboard, and that was particularly hard. If I had to make another hammer, like, something better not happen to this hammer, or I'm going to be really upset. How many episodes? We call our episodes chapters, and there's going to be 3 chapters, and each chapter will have an excerpt or a short story between it. So in total, technically 5 episodes, if you want to call it that. But that's just for, like, our first arc. If we can do more after that, I have plans for more, but that's like the goal, is to just get those 5 projects done. Why adapt Kamen Rider Tyrant's suit? Okay, so Tyrant is a really small villain in Gaim. He's the black one with the black horns. I wasn't sure if you knew that or not.
Yeah.
But so he's like barely he's in one side special, and I always like literally ever since the first draft of the Armored Guardians that I wrote back in 2018, Tyrant was always included. The roles changed a little bit, but I love how just obviously evil the suit looks, and it goes for the more like mythical tone we're going for, like because it has that like angry like demon look to it, you know, like it's very simply evil, you know, like a lot of other suits in Gaim, like Duke is probably the most objectively evil character in Gaim, but like you would never know it based on his bright blue and like yellow suit, like and lemon motif. So like, and honestly the Duke suit is probably objectively cooler, but the Tyrant suit just has like the look and tone that I want for the Armored Guardians, and so like that was always one I wanted to adapt. And I also just like using elements of Gaim that weren't used very much and bringing that over and using it more, because then, you know, that's something that we can expand on and not make our own, but make us a little more distinct in that way. Can the Armored Guardians switch their locks like on the show? Yes, they can, but I will say that's not going to happen a whole lot. Because to be able to do that, the props basically have to be, the helmets have to be interchangeable. Like, they have to be split in half and able to be switched, as well as the visors. So each prop helmet would have to have interchangeable visors, as well as removable back halves. And you could totally do that. Like, you could totally do that, like, mostly with magnets and things like that. But, like I said, I'm still very early, or relatively early in my craft making, so like if I were to implement that, they would honestly probably not look very good at all. So if I am able to do like lock switching, then I'll have to make whole new helmets for each one, so it would basically be like double the work. So yes, in universe it is something we can do, but it's probably not something you'll see very much, at least for a while. But that is a really good question, and I'm glad that somebody asked it. Someone asked Black Baron and Tyrant. I was already surprised to see Greedon be the secondary, but having both Black Baron and Tyrant show earlier too has me even more intrigued to see how the story of the Armored Guardians unfolds. So, Black Baron, yeah. So, I don't know how much this person has seen of, like, the trailer and things like that. But we're not using any of the traditional, like, Gaim suits. So, like, they all have the black base. So it's not really adapting Black Baron as much as it technically is adapting Proto Baron. Because, like, we're adapting Proto Gaim to Samurai and Proto Greedon to, Proto Sentinel to Greedon. I think I just totally, like, lost it. Armored Guardians fixes the issues I had with the Tyrant suit now that it's a regular rider in Gaim. It's an energy rider that hit his lineup. Yeah, so I always wanted to give Tyrant a Sengoku driver as well. Thank you for your comments, by the way. Sorry, I know I read through that really fast, but I promise I'm paying attention. But yeah, I think the Tyrant suit looks a lot better, like works a lot better with the Sengoku driver aesthetic, because that's literally what it has, is it just reuses the Mars undersuit. Let me reread that so
And also, the reason why we didn't go for the original riders was because the undersuits were kind of complicated. And we didn't know how to do that.
They also, they're a lot more textured, and that's still something I'm trying to learn, particularly with the, like, Greedon suit, like with
and the orange one, too. The orange one's a bit complicated.
Yeah, but the chainmail,
yeah,
in particular, is something, like, it's not actually chainmail, but it's like a pattern.
Mm-hmm.
And that's still something I'm trying to get down, so, like, when that happens, it'll probably be incorporated, because that is still something I'm working on the side, is upgrading my abilities and trying to figure more things out. But for right now, the proto suits were like the only way we were actually able to get these done and have it look very good. So that was another big part of it.
What is it made out of? Is it like leather, or is it?
Yeah, like the actual. Well, it's really interesting because the actual suits, like used in Gaim, like the stunt suits, are like some kind of mix of like, you could probably look it up if you really wanted to, but I forgot exactly what it's called. It's like basically a mix of leather and spandex, and that's why it looks so thick, but it's so stretchy. Like I can only imagine that, like how expensive that stuff is, because that's not stuff I have access to, or even I don't even know where you get that.
It'd be so hot in it too.
Yeah, that's
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
like it gets hot enough, just wearing that stuff, but the less colorful suits are a little more appealing to me. Thank you. Yeah, that was another reason we liked it, is just because the aesthetic is a lot different. We didn't want the Armored Guardians to be like dark and edgy, but also when, it is hard, like, or something to consider is that, not everybody is going to be on board for, like fruit armor. Like, that's just not something that everybody's going to find cool, and I have to get used to that sometimes, because I'm so used to it, Like, it doesn't jump out at me like it, jumps out to most people. But so the black suits do help ground it, like, a lot. Especially Banana, it's a lot easier to look at Banana arms with the black undersuit than it is for Red. I don't really know why, but it is. But I'm glad you appreciate it, and it wasn't something we just did out of, like, we want it to be darker and, like, cool and edgy.
Cheaper.
It was basically cost-effective and to look different. Hi, thank you for joining our chat.
What's up?
Okay, next question. I hate to ask this, but do you have a Patreon? I unfortunately can't really donate anything right now due to personal issues, but it'd be nice to know. So, something I decided a little while back is, even though I really appreciate it, and I know a lot of other fan series do, like, crowdfunding, but honestly, I don't have it in me to ask people for money, like, for this project. Because I'm just gonna be honest with you, like, it would be really cool to have a budget. Like, it'd be really cool to, rake in, like, I don't know, 5, 10K, or even less than that. Even just, like, 1K would help a lot. But honestly, like, in the grand scheme of things, there are just people and causes that need that money a lot more than we do. If I were to, like, ask for a crowdfund or, like, Patreon, like, I'd probably end up, like, donating all the money to, like, our local animal shelter or something. And it's not me trying to sound nice. That's me, like, being a very guilt-ridden person. So, like, everything that we make will be, like, completely personally financed by us. And, in a way, that's kind of how I want to keep it. If we do get to, join the YouTube Partner Program and start making money through monetizing the Armored Guardians episodes, whatever money we make doing that will just feed back into being able to do more episodes. So, like, we're not trying to, like, make a bunch of money and, like, get loaded off this. It's really just, a fun side thing.
Would it be cool? Yeah, but
Oh, it'd be super cool,
we're like,
yeah.
expecting to get like millions of subs and a bunch of views.
Yeah, no, just, we're really just doing the best that we can, and then whatever we get from that, I'll be totally happy with. As long as I feel like we've improved over it as well. And, like, when we're done, if we can look back and be like, yeah, that was a coherent story, even if it's not the best. Which I think the story I have written is really good, but we're like, yeah, it's probably not that great, but we're only like 10% through it anyway, so, like, do you plan on adding closed captions to both oh my goodness, do you plan on adding closed captions to both current and future episodes? So, YouTube does that automatically, and I actually watched through that, sorry, I almost threw Thomas's phone. I actually watched through episode 1, and, like, with the, like, closed captions on, like, the automated YouTube closed captions, and they're actually, like, pretty accurate. I know they're not always that way, so I'm not, I hate to be like, well, I'm just gonna leave it to YouTube, but, like, I don't think it would be realistic to, like, post a video for different subtitles, like, for every different language. Like, that would just dilute our channel, like, a lot. So, like...
Really?
I don't think it'd be a great idea, like, to have a bunch of repeat videos, like, of the same thing.
I've seen a few YouTubers have, like, English and Spanish.
Well, yeah, but the settings are on the video, like...
Oh, okay.
So that's the best we can really do. Like, if I figure out more about being able to go in and add more languages, because we've actually had a lot of viewers from Mexico, and hi to those people, who want... I guess the Spanish captions might not be very good. I didn't check that, but I'll try and look into it, but just know that there's not a lot I know how to do currently for that. How long did it take y'all to make the costumes? I answered this earlier, but that's okay. I'll go over it again real quick. So I made all the props, and I will make all the props because I'm actually in the middle of making some. Wink, wink.
I don't know how to do any of it.
Yeah, that's okay. But it depends on what the costume is made out of, and I know the budget I have to go for it towards it like beforehand. So like for Sentinel, I had the biggest budget because that was the one I wanted to do first, because I was actually going to make that suit for myself and not originally for this show. And that took me about 9 months, whereas Talon I kind of rushed through, and that took me like maybe 3 weeks. So it really just depends on the materials I have to work with, because things like cardboard, like you can get done with a project like that with cardboard as long as you're paying attention, but stuff like 3D printing and EVA foam is really tricky, and you have to be a lot more specific with it. So hi, thank you for joining our live stream. So it really just depends on what I'm working with and how motivated I am to do it and what exactly the design is. I'll be a little more specific if you want me to, but that's the best answer I can give for that. Any plans for the Genesis Riders? So I don't really want to comment on that because I really don't want to give away my story. Like that's what it's really hard being in this phase where like we only have one episode out, so this project is really not like, not that it's ever going to be like a big deal or anything, but like I do want to kind of protect the story in a way, and I talked about that last time. So I have to kind of act like this is a lot more important than it really is to save investment, basically. So as far as the Genesis writers go, I'm going to have to be annoying here and just say no comment.
I'm guessing it's like more like if we're able to do it.
Yes. See, I mean that's another factor too. It's like I have the story like all the way like written all the way through, so I know what elements we are going to include for sure. Like there are writers from Gaim that we are going to adapt that you guys have not seen yet that we have to use in our story at some point, as well as other forms and other references from Gaim that will be adapted because they have to for the sake of the story.
Okay.
And sorry, we got a few comments in, and it's hard for me to keep my train of thought. Who's your favorite writers from both of you? Do you mean like seasons, or like favorite writers from Gaim, or like design, or for character? I'm sorry, I just don't want to answer your question wrong. So I'll go on to the next one while you're any common writers. Okay, I guess I have to say Greedon because I mean, I legitimately do really like his character, and I think because Gaim had this really big like theme of like growing up and like finding yourself that didn't get because Gaim has a really like big story, and I think they originally wanted it to be like smaller scale, and characters like Greedon, Acorn, who had simpler journeys would have been a bigger deal, but like I think he ended up kind of getting like washed out when they decided to do this like almost galaxy-wide scale for the show, So I have to say Greedon. So who's your favorite?
I want to say what the character uses. I'm gonna say Melon. I don't know his actual name.
Zangetsu.
Yeah.
Thomas doesn't know like all of the names, but that's okay.
I kind of forgot. I haven't watched the show in a long time.
Yeah.
Which is ironic, but it's
yeah, Thomas has seen all of Gaim though, so he knows what's up, but it's been a little bit. So I think they're both good choices. Zangetsu is my second favorite in the series, and then after it goes Greedon, Zangetsu, and then Knuckle for me. Hi, I recently watched the first episode, and it's really cool to see fan films from Kamen Rider fans in other regions. I hope the project continues to be successful. Thank you, I really appreciate that. I really don't know, like I don't have a definition of like successful for us, because like we said, we don't plan on like making any money or anything. This is really just something to do to improve our skills and to try and tell a story, get a story out there. So not very many people have gotten to do that. I haven't really seen any Kamen Rider fan films on YouTube that are like, I've seen some like pilots basically, like they'll do an episode 0 or an episode 1, and then like I totally get it, like that's all we have out right now, but we are about to be in like active development for our next project in literally just a few days. So we really don't want to leave you guys hanging on just a one-off
Yeah, because that
for,
would suck.
for too long. That really would, and that would kind of kill
Yeah.
our whole channel too. Like
Just
if
be
the
like,
momentum,
wait,
if we
wait,
just
wait.
like stopped for even just like 6 months.
Yeah. To be like, wait, don't worry, we'll film one, and that we never did. So they'd just be like, okay, when's the next one gonna come out? We're just like, just wait.
Yeah.
And then they all like unsubscribe.
Yeah, because that's happened with a lot of other creators. Like there was one. It was basically a fan made like Power Rangers series, and they blew up and did like 2 episodes back in like 2019, and they got like 500,000 views on the first 2 episodes, and then they came back for a reboot this year, and then like as far as I can tell, their reboot like kind of flopped, which kind of made me sad because you could tell they really went all out.
Mm-hmm.
So momentum in this kind of thing is a huge factor. Have you all only seen Gaim? If you need some recommendations for some lesser known writers that are amazing. Now, I've seen a lot of writer seasons.
I've seen like 3.
Thomas has seen maybe 3. I've seen Kuga, a lot of Ryuki, a decent amount of Kabuto. I've seen all of Double. Double is really good. I've seen all of O's. O's is really good. I've watched all of Ghost. I'm trying to go in like order of year, so there's like a really specific thing I have to go by. I haven't seen very much of Forze. I don't like Forze. I'm sorry. I know people are not gonna like me for that. I've seen all of Wizard. Wizard's fine. Oh my goodness, Wizard gets hated on so much. I don't know if you knew that or not. Thomas, I'd say you're probably your favorite writer design is Wizard.
Probably, yeah.
And people hate Wizard, by the way. I don't know if you knew that or not, but people hate Wizard. It's pretty slow, and not in a good way.
Donuts.
But that's about the only thing we've seen him eat yet. Thomas has seen a little bit of Wizard. And let's see, I've seen all of Gaim, obviously. Like I watch Gaim, like all of Gaim once a year, like religiously. I've seen all of Drive. I've seen all of Ghost. I've seen all of Xaid. I've seen all of Build. I've seen all of Ghost. Ghost is fine. You people need to shut up about Ghost. I'm just kidding. Some of Ghost is really bad. I'll give you that. I've seen all of Build. Build was the last season I watched and really, like, truly enjoyed. And then honestly, Geo was so bad for me. Like I don't like Geo at all. And then 01 is fine. And then like, don't make me watch Revice. For the love of God, I won't watch Revice. I'm sorry. Like there are some writer seasons that I watched just a little bit of, and I'm like, that's not for me. And that's okay. I can't watch Revice. I can't watch Saber. I can't watch Gotchard. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be negative here. I'm really not. These are just seasons that are not for me. Geats is pretty good. And so... Oh, I also... Amazons is really good. I watched the original Amazon season before Amazons came out because I thought that like it was like a sequel. So I was like, okay, I really want to watch Amazons and know what I'm doing. So I watched all of Amazon unnecessarily. I still kind of enjoyed it, but like, I mean, you shouldn't really hate any season. I wouldn't say I hate it, but like, you know, I also like you can hate whatever season you want. I'm gonna kick this guy real quick. Hold on.
Imagine if Luke comes back.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm really trying to not be negative. If anybody heard me rant about seasons I don't like, you came in at a bad time.
If that was your favorite season, sorry.
Yeah, I love Ghost. Like, I'll speak out avidly for Ghost, and I totally know that a bunch of people hate it. And, like, you know, that's just what... That's just the situation we're in. And I just had to kick out 4 people. I can say Gav is amazing. Gav looks interesting to me in the sense that, like... Sorry, this is your phone. You can sign in. I'm just going to be real with you. It looks interesting to me, but, like, I don't like very upbeat writer seasons. So I understand Gav gets darker later on, but, like, I'm honestly in a place where I'm not like that huge of a Rider fan as far as the franchise goes. There are like I'm at a point where like I don't enjoy seasons that come out consistently enough to be very excited for like every new thing that comes out. So I use a lot more caution, I guess. Um, I wouldn't have guessed Gav is like Double, but I really like Double. Double is probably like a top 3 season for me. I'm gonna be honest. I think I got through almost all the comments. Um, I got through all the questions. There were a couple comments I wanted to read though. After watching the first episode of The Armored Guardians, I did what any sane Kamen Rider fan would do: binge watched the entire show of Gaim. So I can't wait to see how you would do the Genesis Driver. So I can't comment on the Genesis Driver comment because like I said earlier, but the fact that we got somebody to rewatch all of Gaim, like, do you know how much Gaim content there is? There's a lot of Gaim content. Like it doesn't have as many episodes as some other seasons. It has 47 episodes, but it's got like 7 movies, and like probably 5 specials. So I don't know if he actually, watched all of Gaim because that would take some serious dedication. Like I do it once a year. I don't know if everybody heard that, but I rewatch all of Gaim like once a year, because it's one of my like top 5 like favorite shows, top 5 comfort shows. Zets is amazing. Zets looks really cool. I kind of want to wait on Zets though. So I might end up watching most of Zets after it's already out, if it continues to look interesting to me. Yeah. But I'm not gonna guarantee that because watching Kamen Rider takes a lot of time, and it's not something I can honestly do passively as much as I used to. Somebody said, I think Sentinel's the strongest. He's been doing this longer than Samurai and must have more experience battling monsters. So I want to talk about this poll that we did, I think yesterday, where I asked who is the strongest Armored Guardian. Oh my goodness. Who is likely the strongest Armored Guardian confirmed so far? And Samurai is running away with about 60% of the votes. And I'm like, did you guys watch that? Like, did we watch the same episode? I mean, like, I guess it's a matter of opinion. But like, you might, if you voted for Samurai in the most recent poll as to whether or not he's the strongest, like, you might want to rewatch chapter 1.
I'm pretty sure it was like, since like I'm like the main character, they might be like, oh, surely he's the strongest because he's
right
later on.
Yeah, see, that's something that like maybe I should have been like maybe a little more clear on, because I think they might mean like, oh, Samurai has the potential to be the strongest. Like if that's the case, then like that you could make an argument for that. But so yeah, Samurai has about 60% of the vote, and then Gensui has 25% of the vote, and then Sentinel and Talon each have about 10%, which is really interesting to me. I thought like anybody who watched chapter 1 would probably vote Talon, because like she's the one that walked away like out of the episode with a kill count. So like I'm trying to not give like too direct spoilers, but
sorry, it's so funny because if you watch back, there's 2 different people playing Talon.
Yeah.
There's Elizabeth, the person that plays her, and then there's me.
Yeah. So
one other day.
For Talon, and the crazier thing about Talon is in excerpt of Talon when we're about to film, I'll be in the Talon suit for the whole thing. So literally, we haven't even filmed 2 episodes yet, and there's gonna be 3 different Talon stunt actors, which is crazy. And you can honestly, you can tell if you go back and watch it and you really pay attention, you can tell, because Elizabeth and Thomas have very different builds. You can tell which Thomas is the tallest in the whole cast, by the way. We're all very short people. So you can tell the difference between Elizabeth and Thomas in the suit. It's kind of hard to tell like with the way it's cut, but like basically we did our initial shoot with Elizabeth in the suit, and then we watched it and we were like, well, this is like too slow. So we had Thomas come in for reshoots to do the suit, and he was awesome enough to do that. Gensui hasn't even appeared before. I voted Talon. You voted correctly. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, that was the right answer, for what you guys know so far. That was what you were supposed to say. So good job.
Yeah. It's funny 'cause, if you watched it back, you can tell like the first shot, the suit swallows her up so
Yeah.
much. So like
Yeah.
she's over here like this.
Yeah, because they're wearing the same armor, so
Yeah.
it looks very different on both of them. And then in Excerpt of Talon, I'm gonna be in the Talon suit because Thomas is gonna be in the Gensui suit. So like, it's gonna go from being
Really?
Elizabeth
Yeah.
to Thomas to me, and we all have very different builds.
Yeah.
So like, have y'all accidentally hit each other in the fight scenes while filming? I
Not
feel like
hard,
we,
right?
I feel like we did, but it wasn't hard because we do a lot of what.
I feel like I remember there was a time.
There's been some times, but we go through the sets a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'll admit for chapter 1, our choreography was not up to snuff. We didn't do nearly enough choreography practice.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the choreography in chapter 1 we threw together just like that.
Yeah.
And yes, to answer the question, we have hit each other before. It's not very hard because we go through the set like kind of on slow, medium,
Mm-hmm.
and fast, like fast. But I honestly am disappointed in most of our choreography for chapter 1 because we could have done better. We were rushing a lot of
I
that.
think most of it's also like our weapons are like made out of cardboard, so we can't go hard on it either, or else we're gonna damage the weapons.
Yeah, see the good thing about cardboard weapons is like they actually like you can swing it around super easy.
Mm-hmm.
But like
But contact, and
Yeah.
contact will like shatter the whole
Yeah.
thing.
have y'all accidentally hit each other? I already said that.
I
Yeah.
kicked him in the back.
Yes,
once.
See, it's funny. I actually we can't see very well in some of the suits, so we actually miss more shots. We actually miss more punches than we like accidentally hit people. Like there were there's at least one behind the scenes, and you can find it on our Instagram at the Armored Guardians, where I'm in the crawler suit and I
This is
literally
so bad.
I probably like I'm trying to stab Thomas, I think.
Yeah.
And I miss by probably 3 feet. Like he's standing here and I swing like all the way out here because I can't see what I'm doing at all.
Mhm.
So
It
hey
was
guys,
so
just
funny.
it was hilarious. Like if you it's still up on our Instagram, which I post on quite a bit. Hey guys, just wanted to tell you that the episode, tell you that you guys made an amazing first episode, and I'd love to see where you take the story. Thank you, I really appreciate that. We have a full story in mind, and I'm hoping we can get to tell it all. I feel so bad because people keep giving me suggestions. They're like, hey, what if in the next episode you did this? And I'm like, hey, I wrote the next episode 6 years ago, so like, I'm good. Like, I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong, but like, I think a lot of people think that it's like. That it's all like on the fly, and that's fine. A lot of people tell stories like that, but like, I'm sorry, I'm too big of a control freak to be able to take a lot of suggestions very well. Criticism is fine, but like it is weird how that works. It's cool to see a different take on a Melon Rider. Yes, so I actually was really close to just straight up adapting Zangetsu and making a proto Zangetsu because there was never a proto Zangetsu in Gaim. But then I was like, you know what? Like we have to use orange as a base for the Melon armor anyway, so it's already not going to be accurate to the show, like the show's Melon arms. So like we might as well just make a new Guardian design altogether. And a lot of people really liked the outcome. A lot of people really think, like that the Gensui suit looks really good. So I'm actually really happy about that, and we might even get to do more original. Armored Guardian designs, because people really responded well to that one, and I think you guys will like him even more after you get to see him fight.
For the person who just commented, Andrew already answered it like 4 times.
Which one?
How long did it take you to make the costumes?
A long time for some, not very long for others, depending on the materials, designs, my motivation, and my ability to sleep.
I'm sorry.
That's the best. That's the best answer I can give.
Sorry if you weren't there for that.
I'm sorry. I have answered that like 3 times, so I really hate to sound rude. Huh?
Put it in the comments.
I might have to. I have a question about the tunnel. Why did I think it was a good idea? Why did I think it was a good idea to go in the tunnel, or why did I think it was a good idea to use the tunnel for the story?
I think they made like the characters, right?
Oh, why is it a good
It was
idea?
stupid.
Why did they? Yeah, because it's something I didn't get to talk about as much as I wanted to in chapter 1, but basically like the playground, like the entrance to the tunnel and everything in it is like a really big like local legend kind of thing, and I wanted more scenes where people talk about that, but and that's something I'm going to focus a little more on in Excerpt of Talon. But basically, they want to go in there because they think it's cool and they want to get to say that they've done it. And yeah, no, it was stupid. But as for why, if you meant why I used it in the story, I was actually originally going to use a cave entrance, like a small, like, local cave that looked really interesting. But, like, I needed something that was more, like, focused. You know what I mean? And something that looked unnatural. Like, it had to look man-made. And you'll see why later on. Why it had to look man-made, it can't look natural. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Can we tell them why we can't actually walk in?
No, I'm going to save that for later.
Alright, cool.
I'm going to save that for later. But that is something I do want to keep in mind.
Gosh, Andrew.
I'm sorry, I don't know how to use my stupid phone. Oh, that's okay, you don't need to apologize. Thank you from Jamaica, thank you guys. Are y'all planning to do the Durian Rider? No comment. No
As in,
comment.
I don't know. As in,
I can't tell you. No, it doesn't mean I don't know. It means I
Oh.
know and I can't tell you. Will you guys do just a lore video for things like that? That's actually a really good idea because I've actually considered a few things like that. And I might have to because there's probably going to be a really big gap. This is something I'm worried about. There's probably going to be a really big gap in releases between Excerpt of Talon and Chapter 2. Because we do have some stuff filmed for Chapter 2 yet. But it's probably going to end up being as long as Chapter 1. So if we even get Chapter 2 out by like December, that'd be really good.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Excerpt of Talon is not going to be that hard to film in comparison, and we should be able to get that up in June, maybe even earlier if things go really well. But so things like a lore video, especially for the playground and for some of the Guardians as well, would be some really good kind of, not, I don't want to say filler, but it would be really good stuff to keep. We want to do a lot of things to keep the channel alive between releases, so it's not just like one video every like 6 months, because that, like we said earlier, would absolutely destroy our momentum. And we do have a lot of lore aspects that we haven't really gotten into yet, and that was kind of my intention with Chapter 1, is that it was supposed to be a bit of a cold open, in that, like, and that's why I wanted to focus on Jacob for that, because Jacob really doesn't know what's going on most of the time, poor guy. And the viewers are kind of along with the ride on that, and then Chapters 2 and 3 advance the story as well as fill in a lot of the blanks. And then the excerpts are kind of just like the sprinkles on top of the mediocrely made cake.
Which one are you reading?
The first one.
Oh.
So I actually read your question about Kamen Riders and Armored Guardians existing in the same universe. But that was really early in the video, so I'll just I'll mention it again real quick. So no, they're like completely separate. Like if you want to think about it as like a multiverse kind of thing, where like Kamen Riders are in one universe and Armored Guardians are in another, like that's fine. But there's like not gonna be any like crossovers or like pop-ups from like other writers, because that's more suits I'd have to make for one, because I'm not gonna use any like Kamen Rider footage. Like I'm not gonna have Thomas talk to like stock video of like Ghost or something. It really wouldn't do well with our tone either. So no, Armored Guardians and Kamen Riders do not exist in the same universe.
And that didn't suck.
If you do end up making the fully colored suits later down the line, will the crawler undersuit be used for Valor? Oh no, we wouldn't do that. The crawler undersuit, that would be not that actually be relatively smart. But the crawler suit is, the undersuit is a specific color called wine, and so it's like a purplish red in person. And also I put a lot of paint on it. That's why it looks like dirty and gross, is because it's spray painted black and like splotches. So you can't get that out. But if I were to give Valor, which also Valor, the name for her is Baroness now. We changed that a few months ago. But if we were to give her the red undersuit, it would be a brighter. It'd be a brighter one, because the wine one leans too far into the evil, like the dark grape form later. Like it's basically that exact color, and I wouldn't want to get those confused for reasons I can't mention. So that's a really good question though. Like I love super specific off the wall questions like that.
Can I also ask why Thomas stepped away from the production? So I stepped away from it mostly based on motivation and because I wanted to be more involved with my church. That was most of it, because whenever we were shooting it, it was more like, who's calling me? Why is Elizabeth calling me?
Oh, she did say she was gonna crash.
Oh my gosh.
So I thought she was just gonna comment, but
Okay, I'm gonna answer this in a second. But the reason why I did it was mostly because I lost motivation and because some of our filming days would interrupt my church days. So that's where I was like, which one should I go to? So I was just losing motivation and I also wanted to go to my church.
it was basically like kind of growing pains for the show. It was really just us figuring out our schedule.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So like, it was a bit of a rough patch because we didn't know exactly how the show was going to continue. But as of now, Thomas is basically back on, like, for the full thing. Especially since we have the first chapter out now, because we didn't know for a little bit if the first chapter was even going to get to come out.
Yeah.
So that was the big like problem there. But we were able to work all that out.
Yeah.
So the story will still get to go on as planned. It was really just, like I said, growing pains because a lot of people don't realize it, but like scheduling is low-key one of the hardest parts
It really
of
is.
filming, like because none of us are like actors. You know, so like we have jobs, unfortunately. I wish we didn't, but we do. So scheduling is easily the most difficult part to get right. And really that was Thomas leaving production was just kind of growing pains for the show, and we've gotten it figured out since then. So
Yeah.
don't need to worry about that.
Because earlier we were filming like what, 2 days, 3 days a week, right?
Yeah,
2 days?
we were shooting for like 3 days a week initially,
Yeah.
and then we just learned, you know what, we can't really have much of a organized schedule for this. We're just gonna have to get to it when we get to it.
Yeah.
But we've worked things out since then, and we're kind of more on the groove, more on a roll on things now, and also part of it was my fault because I was in a huge rush, so I was putting some pressure on everybody to like get it done as soon as possible.
That's funny. You also kicked me off the group chat.
I did. Like I don't want to say we got in an argument, but like I was kind of fed up.
Yeah, that's fair.
At the time. This was like several months ago. Like we didn't argue or have like a big falling out or anything.
Yeah.
It was just like, okay, if he doesn't want to do it, then he doesn't want to do it. Delete. And we've talked about it since then, and it's all good. So there's not like behind the scenes drama or anything.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you want to fight though?
we do, I guess we would, but it's from like 6 months ago, so it's barely even teen anymore. What Lockseed does Lucifer use, prop and lore wise? Okay, so I'll tell you right now, he uses a regular dragon fruit Lockseed, which is going to be an original prop, which I actually have not made yet. And in the intro, because the only place we've seen Armored Guardian Lucifer now is the intro, he uses the... I don't know if I can reach it from right now, or from where I am. Now I have to, because I dedicated myself to it. For the prop, all he used in the intro scene, and I'm going to make an actual prop for this, but all he uses was the pomegranate Lockseed just opened. And that's all he uses for that. And you can barely see it in the frame anyway. It just needed to be red because it's going to be red, spoilers. I know it's all ruined now. But yeah, so he'll use an actual dragon fruit Lockseed, which I will design, which I will make, and yada, yada, yada. And you will see it relatively soon. Because it's not going to be that much work. Will you guys be utilizing Gaim's gimmick if Lockseed changing, like Samurai having orange armor to strawberry armor? Or are they more asking characters introducing... more akin to characters introducing into the story? So I talked about this a little bit earlier. So the thing about arms changing or Lockseed switching from a prop standpoint is actually like, and I'm sure you guys could probably guess this, but it's actually a really big feat to be able to like switch armors, and the helmet specifically is what makes it so difficult because we could throw the armors, like the torso armor, on whoever we want. You know, like we can do that no problem. The ingenuity of it comes from the helmets because we would have to make both removable visors and a removable back half of the helmet, so the helmet would have to be at least like 4 parts. And I'm like a mediocre craft maker at best, so basically the choice was either like more guardians or just a couple guardians that had more forms. And I just had like, ever since the first draft of this story that I wrote back in like 2018, there have to be at least 5 characters. There are 5 characters that you guys will meet that this story cannot work without. And So it really like more. We will do. I will give this as a spoiler. There will be more forms. Like there's gonna be more forms and more things like that. But it's probably gonna be closer to like other seasons where it's like a direct upgrade and not like we, as of right now, I'm just gonna be honest, like we couldn't switch Orange and Acorn. Like we couldn't do that. We like in the lore you can, but as far as props go, we can't because I can't take the back half of Orange and put it on the Sentinel helmet because it's all one piece technically. If that answers your question, I am working on that though. Like there are a lot of things I want to get better at, and including that gimmick is one of them. So just know it is something I am working towards. But as of now, it's not something you'll be seeing a lot. Would you ever sell these props, or would it be more trouble than it's worth? I'm just gonna be honest with you; they're not worth anything. Like, to sell like the Sentinel suit is probably worth a little bit, but like just because it's the only one that, in my opinion, looks at that show accurate. But like, yeah, you're good. But like, I honestly don't think a lot of them would do very well in the shipping process because a lot of them are just not honestly that durable. Like we talked about it earlier, a lot of Thomas will be right back, by the way. We talked about it earlier. Like they get damaged relatively easy, and so I am gonna have to replace them like every so often. So honestly, like I don't even know how I would like market that. But also like they're very personal to me because they're stepping stones in my craft making journey. So like while I look at some of the props and I don't think a lot of them are very good personally, it kind of be like selling my babies. Like you just can't really do that, and it's just I don't even know how you would market it. Like I said, like I don't know how you would list it on eBay. I'll be honest, for the homemade suit you make, they look pretty damn good though. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. I have a lot of work to go through. Really in every aspect of production, but I've gotten almost nothing but compliments on the suits, and that actually really surprised me.
They're uncomfortable to wear.
They are. Mostly to see out of. Like, in my opinion, they're not that bad to wear, but as far as, like, you know, maybe it rips in the chat for the character that died in the first couple of minutes of episode 1.
Alex, right?
Oh, are you talking about Alex?
Ah.
Jacob's coworker?
He still did not give me that root beer.
Did we take out the line? We took out the line root beer. Yeah. He says, I'll get you a drink. We had that as a root beer for some reason in the first, like, 3 drafts.
I don't even like root beer either.
I do. That's probably why I wrote it. Yeah. I'm guessing you're talking about Alex. The one that...
touches grass.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. That might be the best scene in the whole episode, honestly, is just Alex, like...
It's funny because, like, someone mentioned in the comments how he smiled throughout his whole...
Yeah, see, the
like...
thing... It's funny because for most actors, like, in most productions, in my opinion, that would make the whole thing look terrible if an actor smiled all the time.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it's, like, perfectly in character for Blade. Like, I don't understand it. Yeah, he was...
But Alex was great.
Yeah. But, like, for some reason, like, Blade can smile the whole time as Alex, and it just looks like it's in character. Like, I don't know why, because for everybody else, like, if I did that, it would look stupid. If I like, you know, smiled, like, for, even a little bit, because almost all of my lines are super serious, so if I smiled even a little bit, like, it wouldn't work for most of it. But for some reason, Blade, as Alex, really... Honestly, like, he might be the best actor out of all of them.
It's funny because, like, he's like that in real life, too. So
yeah, that's just how he is. Like, that's just how he is. Like, so, I, mean, like, I guess you could thank me, because that's just good casting.
Like, he's not that, like, dumb in, like, the character, but in, like, the goofy sense, like, he is like that in real life.
Yeah, like, no, we're not trying to say he's dumb, but he is very goofy.
Blade, watching this, we love you, bro.
Also, you're super not goofy.
You're really tall, too.
Super serious.
You're really tall.
What is both of your favorite parts of the process of production and filming? For me, this might not be what you expect. I like video editing the best. Video editing, like once we have the stuff already shot, going in and actually editing the footage to look the way I want it to and to flow the way I want it to is probably my favorite part of it all. I do really like the stunts though. Like when we know what we're doing and when we can see out of the props,
Yeah.
I do really like doing stunts, and I'm glad that's something we can do instead of just hiring other people to do it.
Yeah. For me, it was probably the choreography, because that's what Andrew originally wanted me to do, was do the fight scenes. Because I just really like fight scenes in general. I'm not athletic enough to do any of it that's popular in like any movies that came out recently, but I can imagine it, or at least try to.
Yeah.
But I just like doing fight scenes because it's cool. But it is like in Gaim, I can see why the fight scenes are so different between on and off suits.
Yeah, we were literally just talking about this.
We were. It is so different whenever you're not in it.
Yeah, like everything feels so much faster when you're actually there doing it, but you could be doing something so slow and boring. Like
it's also so restricting too.
Yeah, see, like that's what killed me about so much about like our chapter 1 choreography is, like I said, like our choreography on chapter 1 is something that, looking back, I really wish we would have taken the time to flesh out more, because we actually have choreography experience. We've done like lightsaber duels and like other hand-to-hand fights and stuff, and for chapter 1 we were just really trying to rush through it.
Yeah.
Through the fight scenes specifically, because we were having so much trouble scheduling. We didn't even know if we were going to get it done. So like really I was just like, let's just do something. So we really just came up with the choreography like on the fly, and that's why it's like garbage. And like I've posted at least 3 times that we're working on choreography for Excerpt of Talon specifically, because that guys, the choreography for Excerpt of Talon is going to actually make us look like competent filmmakers. Like for a little bit, like for a minute. It's not going to be perfect, but like compared to what you saw in chapter 1, it's going to be so much better. Do you like writers with a small set of forms like Agito or a large set of forms like Geats? That's a really good question, and for me it's probably somewhere in the middle, but I'll try and give a better answer to satisfy your question, because I get there's a really big split between, you know, some that get a bunch of forms and some that get just a couple forms. For me, I have to prefer, and again, this can vary, but I prefer a writer that just gets a few forms. Like I'm talking like anything like 3 or 4 forms.
Didn't Gaim get like 7?
Gaim has so many forms, dude. Gaim,
like he gets
at
orange,
least 10.
He gets strawberry. He gets the. Is it a pumpkin or like a really like extra?
It's just
orange?
like it's an upgraded orange.
It looks like a pumpkin.
People thought it was a pumpkin when it first came out. Yeah, Kachidoki. Yeah.
What else did he wear? He got watermelon, but watermelon's more like a, like not really a suit. It's like a CGI
right,
suit.
it's a CGI. They didn't make the head practically though.
True.
Which is cool. But yeah, Gaim has like probably almost 20 forms, all things considered. So I'd say most of the time I prefer writers with just a few forms, because like the Geats forms in particular I don't like very much. You've seen a little bit of Geats. It's the one where they can switch the top half and the bottom half of their armor. Okay, we watched a little bit of it, but with that one specifically, it's just way too much. Like I like a lot of the Gaim forms. Like I think we'd probably agree that at least 80% of the Gaim forms are good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not crazy about Banana and Kiwi.
Really?
But and Kiwami Arms. I don't like Kiwami Arms very much either.
What's that one?
Kiwami Arms is Gaim's final form, the silver one. I don't like that, to be honest with you.
I think it's just because like the chest plate's like not textured. It's like a flat, with all the like the fruits.
Yeah.
I think that's what gets me the most. Is that like there's no texture on it.
Yeah, because the form before it was so big and bulky and like intimidating, and just nothing could reach that. So I get that we're going for something else, but that's fair. I feel the main character should get 10, secondary should get 5, and the main writer should get 3. I think it depends on the season. Like, it depends on the vibe they're trying to go for. Like, because a lot of Gaim's forms, like, a lot of them aren't really a big deal. Like, when he gets, like, strawberry, for example, like, does that change the game? No, like, that doesn't do anything. And so, like, to me, it's like, it's only too much when it's not useful at all, and when I don't care anymore. And like the visuals for Geats, like they change. Like I'll be honest with you, they're like, I actually really like Geats, so I don't want to like talk trash about it, but like there'd be times when the riders and geats would change, because like they would have a separate like item for the top half and bottom halves of their armor, and sometimes they would just switch it, and it would give them basically the same attributes. Like they'd be a little different, sure, but it's just like this isn't different enough to really make me think it's cool. And I admit the Gaim armors, like there are way too many Gaim forms, but most of them are different enough, and the weapons are unique enough for me to be like, okay, I'm at least like, you know, like I could at least see an instance where this change would be useful in battle, and it's also just different enough visually. What about Kachidoki? Kachidoki is honestly the best form of Gaim, in my opinion. Upgraded orange.
Oh, okay.
I'd say Zangetsu's. Have you seen his upgraded melon form? That's a repaint of the upgraded orange form.
Is it orange? Wait, what?
Never mind.
In my mind, I thought about the melon shield with the minigun on it.
No, that one is fun though. That one's fun. But Kachidoki is the best form in all of Gaim. And as far as incorporating that into the Armored Guardians, I'm not going to say anything about that. I saw something on the channel called Variety Discussion. How did you guys get from here to making a fan project? Just curious. So it was really like we started this channel pretty much only intending to do like movie discussions, not so much reviews, because we didn't want it to sound like super analytical. It was really just, that's why we called it discussions and not like analysis or reviews. So we did a lot of those, and we were really only ever intending to do that. And we actually almost did the stuff for the Armored Guardians on a different channel, but then it was like, you know what, we've talked so much about making like our own stuff on here, like it really doesn't even seem that big of a deal to just put the Armored Guardians stuff on this channel. Like we've already established our personalities and our you know, tastes so much on this channel that like we might as well just like extend ourselves. And Variety Discussion, that series, honestly, it flopped.
It did.
Like really hard. And we did it for like 3 years. Like we weren't gonna stop. Like I think the highest Variety Discussion got. No, it was the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie.
That one was funny though.
Even that one only got like 3,000 views, which isn't terrible for like a small channel. You know, it could be a lot worse. But if you are interested in any of the Variety Discussion movies that we talk about, it's a lot of Star Wars, some Marvel stuff. I would go back and give them a watch. I alternate haircuts like every 3 months. Like sometimes my hair will look kind of long, and then sometimes like I look like great value, like Thor Ragnarok. Like I'll have the like completely shaved sides and spiked top, and it looks bad. I saw. Okay, I already read that. I mean, yeah, there's only ever 3 important ones for each writer. Base, super, final. Yeah, and I think for some seasons that works really well. And for others, it just kind of like for Agito, like you said earlier, Agito is a really good example of like there's really not much of a wasted form here at all. And I think Agito. I forget. I haven't watched much Agito. The dark red Agito suit, is it breaking form? It's like a dark red. It's got like a flame, kind of a flame motif. That one's cool. I don't think it's Shining. I think Shining is a different one that looks cleaner, right? There's like a dirtier looking like red form from Agito that's really sick. How many Sengoku drivers do you have? I have 4 DX Sengoku drivers and 1 burning form. Thank you. That was killing me. Thank you. How many Sengoku drivers do you have? I have 4 DX ones and 1 CSM one. They're all on display. You probably can't see them all. I keep the CSM one loaded with Greedon stuff, and I have that next to my Aniki cosplay Greedon helmet. Whatever you do, for the love of God, don't order from Aniki Cosplay. They were sketchy when I bought from them. They've only got worse. Like, don't hit them up. And then the other ones are way too far out of my reach. But yeah, I've got one up there, you can see that. And then I've got a Genesis driver. And then I've got one way over there. Yeah, I do have a problem. I don't need you guys to tell me that. But thank you for asking. So after the Armored Guardians, what's next for you two? The Armored Guardians is going to take a really long time. Like, probably at least 2 years. And honestly, like, this is a story I've been wanting to tell for a really long time. So I don't consider the Armored Guardians as something that's, like, something on a conveyor belt of other projects. Like, this is my baby right now. Like, I'm putting almost everything I can into this, so it's really not like... It'd be cool if after a Gaim adaptation, we did, like, a Ghost adaptation, and then maybe after that we could do, like, an O's adaptation or something. And I've had people ask about that, and I mean, I appreciate that people want to see more from us, but, like, the Armored Guardians, it's not, like... It's kind of this really interesting mix of something I'm doing for fun, as well as something that has to, like... That I have to get out there, you know what I mean?
It's like you thought about it for so long, and like,
Yeah.
you need to like take a chance or a step.
Yeah, like, because the Armored Guardians was stuck in production, or was stuck in concept for like 7 years.
Yeah.
And we started filming a trailer for the Armored Guardians in 2021. This was 5 years ago.
Wow.
And I was about probably like 70 pounds heavier at the time, and Thomas looked like a baby. Like, so, like, I was really sad that it didn't work out at the time, and I still have that footage, and I still have that footage, yeah.
Oh.
And so I might release that at some point, but it was really bad.
We should rewatch it.
It was not, we're not do that right now, but it was really bad. And I was really sad that we didn't get that to work out in 2021, because by then it had already been like 2 or 3 years since I'd been trying to get it to happen. So I was like, back in 2021, I was like, hey, maybe like this is really it. And then like we started it, and I just didn't have a concrete enough plan for how we were actually going to do it. And so like we were there filming, and I was just like, what if we did this? And what if we did this? And it was just like, I didn't have a plan. It was just like, what can we shoot that will make people like interested? And it was going to use Gaim footage. So it would have probably gotten taken down.
Right.
Yeah, like really quick. Because like I can use like some of the Kamen Rider soundtracks, and they don't mind that much. But like once you put even a second of footage in there, it's done. Like your Toei is not gonna let you get that up. So even if I wanted to use Gaim footage, which I don't because I want my cinematography to get better, and I want the tone to stay consistent, because let's be honest, like you could tell, like if we used Gaim footage, it wouldn't blend together at all, and that would just kill me, and that would keep me from enjoying the process. So like,
the only way that we could do that, and if like we're not going to, what if we could, is that if we went to the exact locations that they went to, and did it like that. Because imagine like they're in the city and then we shoot straight into a forest. Like that would not mix at all.
And the camera quality as well, because this is all shot on an iPhone.
Oh yeah.
And they're not shooting Kamen Rider with iPhones. I don't know what they used. I could probably look it up and find out, but I know it's not an iPhone. So
moving camera.
What's your opinion on army/soldier riders like Demon Troopers and Kurokage Troopers? Just in general, or do I plan on using that? Sorry, I just don't want to get your question wrong. Like, do I think it's a cool concept? I mean, I would say yeah. I think it works better for some designs than others. Like, I wish... like, I think, honestly, probably the best example of a trooper, in general, okay, so, I think, honestly, the best example of a trooper, in Kamen Rider is probably the Zect troopers from Kabuto. I like those the best. Because I personally like it when the troopers feel like kind of a step down from like a full-fledged like Kamen Rider. Like it's just suits you put on, but they still give like a rider vibe, so that it kind of keeps that like hierarchy, if that makes sense.
That's what Pinecone was, right?
Yeah, so like with Kurokage, with the Pinecone, like it was basically like, I thought it was like kind of too much for just troopers in a way. I mean, it allowed for Jonochi to have that really nice scene in the last episode, you know, but like I think for some aspects of seasons it works better than others. Like I said, I like it when it's like when it like really feels more like just people and not full-fledged like Kamen Riders. I guess technically they're not, because they are labeled as Kurokage troopers, but like it's the exact same like transformation process as the other riders.
I kind of wish that like they had more SEAL troopers, but they all kind of were the exact same.
I think it would have been really cool if they in Gaim like they kind of took the clone trooper route with the Kurokage troopers, because you already have a black base.
True.
Why not like add like some red to one legion and like some purple or green to another legion and be like, these guys are fire squad, these guys are like air assault. And I realized that would have been a lot, because they only had 3 troopers to work with, like 3
Really?
trooper suits to work with. But honestly, like I feel like they could have played around with the lore on that a lot more. I doubt they would have like released an action figure for every single slight repaint. Although you never know, like you never know what people are gonna buy.
Because I'm not.
Can you see the? Yeah, you can't see the Clone Trooper helmet I have up there, in the corner. I just think Clone Trooper is really cool. That's probably why I say that.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Like all the Pinecone like people, like they weren't as cool as I think they could have been.
Yeah.
You know, like I get it was like it was a step up from like them having guns, but it's like
Well, what's interesting is they gave some of them guns anyway.
really.
Yeah, like some of the Kurokage troopers just they straight up had a gun or a flamethrower,
Like
and they
as
would
Pinecone?
and they would give that to the
That's so
regular guys
stupid.
anyway.
What's the
So
point?
like, I don't really know.
Doesn't bullets do nothing against those like that armor like anyway?
I don't think so. I think
Surely
sometimes it stuns them, like for a second.
You shoot the
But,
thing
like-
that's not padded.
Yeah, that might. I don't know. They don't lean into that too much, and I
They
think this is
don't.
why. I'll be honest. I haven't seen Gaim, but I pay attention to design elements. So the fact that Shin Kurokage is just Shin Kurokage is basically just the laziest attempt to sell an extra toy to me, because like they did make a slightly extra weapon, but dude, they needed to repaint that suit or something. Like, you know, it really does kill the immersion when, you know, they care enough to make like a whole new Lockseed, like a Pinecone Energy Lockseed, and the suit is exactly the same. Like you're telling me you couldn't have changed one thing like for a minute, because they have more than one Kurokage suit, you know. So like if they wanted to like make one look, see that like an extra shiny like bronze instead of black could have looked really cool, even if they wanted to keep the undersuit the exact same. Like you could have done a really cool, because there are almost like no bronze color schemes in Gaim like whatsoever. Hi Elizabeth.
Get out of chat. Go away.
Mostly for a different driver and
Both of us are
weapon,
the same.
so they can explain what the weapon was in the show.
I
Yeah,
should-
they did bring the weapon in the show, which was interesting and honestly kind of a waste of time in my opinion. Honestly, I don't think the Gaim summer movie is that great anyway, because Gaim itself feels so tight, and then like the summer movie is like a complete divergence from that. I understand they kind of had to, but it is a bit of a shame, because that movie has has Mars in it, the Golden Apple rider, which is probably one of Thomas's favorite Kamen Rider suits of all time.
I should have said that. I forgot about that.
And yeah, well, I mean, it barely gets to
that's
to
true.
do anything. So
True.
like I completely understand why.
Wasn't there one like one female and then one dude that like wore it? Or was it two different?
Golden Apple was used by Mars, the guy, and then regular Apple was the female user.
Wasn't it the same like suit though?
It was no,
Was it
it was the same shield. That's probably what you're
okay.
thinking of. But yeah,
Gotcha.
I like that each energy lock seed has a rider for it. Yeah, they kind of I guess that the situation with Baron makes that a little bit tricky. But the Genesis riders in particular are really interesting, and I wish they would have done more with that, as far as like because it's really made to be a huge deal in the show, the Genesis drivers. Like from episodes like 14 to 30, they're just like, having this belt is a really big deal. Like it's gonna completely change the playing field. And then by episode 35, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So like, honestly, I think that's why like, that's probably why you guys haven't seen any like Genesis driver stuff yet, or Energy Lock Seed stuff yet. Is I feel like honestly in Gaim it kind of all gets evened out anyway. You know, like I don't feel like at the end, you know, like if you looked at like episode like 14, like Peach Energy would like wipe the floor with anybody, and then if you go to episode like 40, you know, like Peach Energy is like, it's just another one.
It was cool though that she actually did her own stuff.
Yeah.
Though that was cool.
That is really cool. Like,
Props to her.
yeah, for real, dude. Like she,
'Cause
I don't
we
think she
know
gets
how
enough
hard
credit.
that is.
Yeah, and she like,
Did she do flips in it too?
oh yeah, like she
That's
did like
nuts.
the full experience.
That's
I doubt
crazy.
she had a secondary person in there. Something I think is interesting is like each rider suit, like they don't do things the way we do it because we don't have any money. Thank you, Elizabeth. I know that's very interesting. Thank you. But so like Toei, it needs like they can literally assign a rider suit to a full like actor,
Mhm.
and then like that person stays in that suit for the whole series and for every movie. Like they're like, okay, dude, you know, you are gonna be in this suit every time we need this suit. So literally every time we need this suit, we're gonna call you so you can come and wear this suit. And so like we're just like, look, whoever we have available is gonna wear the suit. Like literally like whoever is free that day. And I mean for the case when me and Thomas do choreography, like we work on that for weeks at a time. So like we know like in Excerpt of Talon, for example, which we're gonna start filming this week. Like we know who's gonna be in the suits for that because we've specifically trained for that. But when it comes to like just certain shots, it's literally just like Elizabeth, for example. Like I wasn't planning on Elizabeth to wear the Talon suit like ever, and then like the first day we needed the Talon suit, Thomas was busy, so it was literally just like, hey, can you wear the suit for like 30 minutes? And she was like, yeah, I can do that, and then I'm eternally grateful. There's a curious question. Have you seen the Reiwa Rider series? I'm currently watching Zets and been nonstop story action channeling. So I haven't watched, the only Reiwa era season of Kamen Rider I've watched is Geats. And honestly, I'm just not as big of an overall Kamen Rider fan anymore as I used to be. Like I think I talked about this probably like 30 minutes ago because this has gone way longer than I thought it would, but that's fine. Is that like I don't enjoy Kamen Rider enough on like a consistent basis to like always be watching the next episode. Like I'm at a point where like some seasons really stick with me and I keep that, and like, you know, it means more and more to me over time because like, you know, look at what I'm doing here with Gaim. You know, like Gaim was monumental to me when it was coming out because it was something I genuinely loved, and then the longer I sat with it and like the more I wanted to do with it, like that's why we're doing this. Whereas like I just don't have it in me to watch every new episode of every Kamen Rider season and every movie because they pump out a lot of stuff, guys. Like you gotta cut me some slack there. They literally just announced like 6 new things, like what, yesterday, 2 days ago. So like just full transparency, I don't keep up with everything like most other fans do, and because honestly I tried to make myself do that with 01, and I didn't enjoy the first time I watched it at all because I basically made it an assignment. I was like, look, you're going to be a good fan and you're going to watch this show. And that's not how you enjoy things. And then later on I ended up watching 01 and I was like, okay, this is fine, I guess. So it's kind of hard. That's still kind of a line I'm balancing because like when you're making a full-on like Kamen Rider fan project, that kind of consumes most of your mental Kamen Rider energy. You know, like you don't really like work on props for like 6 hours and then film, or work on choreography for an hour and then think, you know, I really want to sit down and watch more Kamen Rider. I know that sounds weird and mean, but like this is just kind of what I'm doing with it right now as opposed to just sitting and watching, for me personally. I think it's weird there were so many Japanese European themed suits, but Ryugen is the only Chinese one. Yeah, I'm really glad you said that because that bothered me for a while too. I don't think they ever did another Chinese themed Gaim Rider. Like there are literally like 30 like Gaim Riders. Like it's like there's a stupid amount of them. You know, like
Interesting.
and I really think Ryugen is the only Chinese one. So that is weird on their part. They're having a full-on conversation in the chat. Does anyone have any like last-minute questions, like specifically about the Armored Guardians before we wrap this up? Because this has gone on for like 30 more minutes than I thought it was going
hour
to.
and 15 minutes. Right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Like, this goes by like that, dude. Like it's
does.
crazy. Like I feel like I've been here for 8 minutes. Does anyone have any burning last-minute questions specifically about the Armored Guardians? Nothing else. I'll let you guys sit there. Who's the cast? Thank you, Elizabeth. I'm gonna take that as sarcasm.
The cast is not Elizabeth because she can't act. No.
That would be a very hypocritical thing to say.
Yeah.
I do right now. I'm not sure what do
does
you
that
want?
mean? What is that?
Are you trying to stick us up? Like, is this a robbery?
FBI open up.
Prop question: will you be doing custom faceplates? Yes.
Tried once, right?
Yeah, I need to get the sizing right. I've actually made like 4 of them before, like just for fun, and then I literally lost them all. And so I actually still have the files for them. And I need to reprint them and actually attach them. Because we did chapter 1, where Talon still has the full green Ryugen faceplate, and it doesn't match at all. And honestly, that's going to bother me for the rest of time. So I do want to fix that. I do literally have the file to fix that, and I just need to print it out, and as well as some others. What's your opinion on kit bashes? I think some are great, like Sylvie. Okay, so I'm glad you mentioned that. Did you? If you didn't see our Armored Guardian Gensui post, that is a kit bash of the samurai suit, and I literally have the armor like just right over here. I'm not gonna show you right now unless Thomas wants to pick it up, but like I can show you guys like all the props right here. So this is the Gensui or watermelon torso piece, and it's literally a kit bash of the orange torso piece, as you can very easily tell. And then I'll show the helmet too, since I've got it right over here. The Gensui helmet, like this is Gaim. Like this is Gaim, and I basically just like made a new faceplate for it, kind of like the kind of like how Toei did when making the Kamen Rider Eden and Kamen Rider Tyrant helmets, because those are literally just like faceplates or like additions to the Gaim helmet. But something I really didn't like about what they did there is they left the mouth exposed, and Gaim has a very like distinct mouthpiece. Like you'd probably agree with that, like the like kind of teeth looking, like jagged looking design, and they always kept that when like kit bashing it for other suits, and that always really bothered me. So when I wanted to kit bash our samurai suit into the Gensui suit, I knew I wanted to cover the mouth, and I think that's kind of why it succeeds in looking as different as it does, because I wouldn't say like you would look at this and immediately say that's Gaim. Right? So like that's my opinion on kit bashes, is I think they're okay. So I think sometimes they are really clear, just like I'd like to sell another toy, you know, like there's sometimes where it's like, was this really super necessary? But like we needed this character, and you'll kind of see why when he appears in Excerpt of Talon. So for kit bashes, like for a low budget studio, like we're gonna probably thrive on that. Like I was thinking about it, and I wouldn't mind to make like eventually like a whole nother set of original Armored Guardians, like just with the props that we already have, because people responded to this really well. And give me 2 weeks, and this'll look like Gaim again. Like this is not a permanent change, but like it's just secure enough to last throughout filming, and like it not like fall apart or anything. So I hope that answers your question. I want to put that back before I drop it and break it.
It'd be kind of hard to break that one, isn't it?
It would be, yeah, but I'm sure I would find a way.
Probably break the horns first.
Yeah.
Okay. Stab himself with that thing.
Yeah. See, Sylphie, I just read your full comment. I think Sylphie particularly is a terrible kit bash. Mainly because, like, I think Eden is a really good kit bash. The red apple suit. Like, that one is definitely distinct enough to where it feels like its own vibe. But, like, the Sylphie suit is just too close to the Eden suit, and they don't even bother, like, repainting the boots, like, and some of the other pieces at all. So it's like it's mainly got this like crystal, like purple vibe, and then that does go well with the silver undersuit. But then it's got like random red and black boots, and like I just don't like it very much. But that's just me. Gensui does look really good, even though it's a temporary change. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that. I was really worried I actually was worried people were going to be mad and were going to be like, "You think we won't notice that's just the orange armor? Like, do you think we're stupid?" But I had to have faith in people and be like, "Yes, they'll know that it's orange, but they won't mind." Like, and like people really liked the shakeup. Like I thought about doing some really like off the wall things, like repainting like Acorn like purple for like eggplant or something, like just something nuts, you know, just like just so people would see it and be like, dude, has this guy lost his mind? Like, just some really fun stuff like that. I don't know, like, and it depends on really how many, because I don't really want to make extra suits like just for the fun of it, because it does take work. Like Ginsui will be like story relevant. Like he's not just gonna pop in and be like, whoa, you know, what's up, and then head on out. Like he's got narrative purpose. So, but I would like to do other things. What's your favorite writer show besides Gaim?
Uh-oh.
For me, see, that's really tough because that alternates between like 4 different seasons. I'll say double, but I also really like Build, and I really like Amazons, and I know that's kind of a cringe answer. And I really like Kuga too. Kuga's really good, but I'll give it to Double for my second. I like that. Oh, do you have a second favorite Kamen Rider season? I almost completely forgot Thomas was here.
Because I don't have one.
Yeah, I kind of figured you wouldn't. I thought you might just say Wizard just because you thought Wizard was really cool.
I don't know, like the suit is sick.
Yeah.
The show is like kind of boring.
Yeah, it is. I think we got to like what episode like 15 of Wizard, and then we were just like,
Probably.
we'll pick this up another time, maybe.
I seen bits and pieces of Ghost and Drive, and I think that was it.
Yeah. I really don't think Ghost was your cup of tea.
No,
I don't think Ghost and Drive were your cup of tea, like, at all.
Wizard was cool, but it got boring so fast.
It did, yeah. Like, I'll give you that. I like that you're doing original Arbor Guardians. It keeps the story fresh without being a one-to-one Gaim retelling. See, that's what I was so... Thank you, by the way. That's what I was so adamant about, is that, like, even when I wrote the first draft, this is nothing like Gaim. I just want people to know that, because, like, so many people are all like, when is Jacob gonna become a god already? And it's like, you know, what makes you so sure that we're even doing that? And I'm not saying that's a stupid thing to assume, like, I get it, but it's just like, I don't want to make an experience that just feels like a worse, like, version of another experience. Because Gaim is amazing, in my opinion. Gaim is, like, legit one of the things I'm most inspired by, and I really don't want to just be like put on a middle school play version of it.
That would suck.
Exactly.
That would put a downplay on Gaim.
Exactly. So like basically like my idea is to have like almost a completely different story, but with the same themes and the same like messages, and then with references just scattered enough to be like, you know, we remember this from Gaim. Like this serves a purpose in our story too, just a different one. There's nothing wrong with Amazons. It's fine for what it is. Thank you. I think Amazon's Season 1 is particularly pretty decent. I think you've seen that a little bit.
I don't remember.
There's a lot of fake blood in it. Like, there's a lot of CGI blood in it.
Oh, is that the one where like the people go in with guns and like they
Yes.
need to get? Oh.
Yes. See, that one's a fun rewatch. I think we should watch like just the first episode again at some point, because that one's fun for me to watch.
Because they're all dead.
Yeah. There's a lot of gore in that show.
Oh yeah, I've seen a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
it's coming back to him now. It's got the red and green
Yeah.
suits.
And like one of them's like really like hyped up. And,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah. Good times.
Oh.
The amount of times Apple got reused is kind of alarming to me. Do you plan on making Apple eventually? It'd be pretty thematic for okay.
That'd be sick. I'm just.
I don't want to spoil stuff. Like
No.
I understand this isn't a big deal, right? Like this is like stupid. This is nothing. But I have really special plans for all the Apple stuff. But it's going to be closer to the end of the story I have planned. And it probably will barely get touched on in the 5 projects that I've announced, because like there's a lot of arcs to this story, basically, like phases as I kind of call it, and Apple is like close to like endgame stuff. And there's a reason for that I can't really get into. But for Lucifer to have Apple would look cool. it would look pretty cool, but there would be a thematic reason why that couldn't happen in our story, most likely. I won't put anything like definitive yet, because we have had plans change before, but there's basically something really specific about Lucifer and the apple lock seeds. That's all like religious, like mythology themed stuff that I have planned, and it's not going to be explored immediately, but I do have plans for it. That's like I said like earlier, like it kind of bothers me when people are all like, I have some suggestions for your next episode. And it's not like critique, like constructive criticism. It's like full on, like, this is what I want your next episode to be about. And it's like, dude, I wrote the first draft of my next episode like 5 years ago. Like I'm sorry. Like, I'm already basically set in my ways. Like, I appreciate it, I guess. Just know it's probably not going to sink in, because I probably won't let it. Because I'm just kind of a control freak like that. I think just about... I don't think we have any questions left to address. This has gone on for a very long time.
Yes.
I'll give one last opportunity for anybody to get out any last minute questions,
Except for
or
Elizabeth. Elizabeth cannot.
I think Elizabeth left.
Nice.
Can't believe we had a girl in our chat, dude. That's gross.
I think, like, Juliet is. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
She might have left too. She hasn't said anything in a while. That was a joke, by the way. That's why I said it in stupid voice. I don't think girls actually have cooties. I'm pretty sure.
I'm so scared.
The verdict's still out on that. Okay, we haven't got any more questions, so I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for watching this hour-and-a-half long Q&A video. I was not planning on it being this long. The sun literally went down as we were filming this. So thank you guys. If anyone has stayed on for this whole thing, you are awesome, because Thomas has not even mentally been here through this whole thing, as you can tell.
You're alright. I have zoned out.
That's okay. I can tell. That's okay. Thankfully, I can talk about nothing for a really long time. But thank you guys for watching. Really, we know Thomas had fun. I had fun.
For this friend, I can't wait for more.
Thank you. We can't wait for
Nice.
more Armored Guardians as well. Trust me. Like I said, we're starting filming on Excerpt of Talon in just a couple days, so hopefully we'll have some good behind the scenes pictures or video, nothing too spoilery to show you guys, but we're really excited. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.